is CBS News Miami.
And good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jim Barry. Here's our top story for the 4 p.m. Quickcast. A teenage girl is in critical condition after being burned by a Molotov cocktail thrown inside of her home in Southwest Miami-Dade. CBS News Miami's Morgan Reiner has an interview with the girl's father that you will see only on CBS News Miami.
CBS News Miami spoke exclusively to Dad Raul Alvarez outside of Kendall Hospital Wednesday morning.
My reaction? I want justice. I want justice. And I heard a big explosion. And then when I come out the room, my niece was on fire. From the belly on down.
Her uncle, who did not want to show his face until the investigation is over, and her dad rushed to help.
We grabbed her, we took her outside, we got the water hose, we rinsed her down to, to cut the fire off. She was screaming for help. I tried to help her. Everybody tried. I got some marks and burns.
You can see her burnt clothes in a pile outside of the home. Her family raced her to Homestead Hospital.
16-year-old female, burn percentage 80% of her body.
From there, medics airlifted her to the nearest trauma center.
Very bad. Only you can see it. Really bad.
Her uncle said she went into surgery Wednesday morning. As for who is responsible, they believe they know who it is.
It was a retaliation.
But they don't want to identify the person before police make an arrest.
That was Morgan Reiner reporting. Our Peter Dench will have more of that father's heartbreaking interview tonight at 5 o'clock.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
And let's check in with Next Weather Chief Meteorologist Ivan Cabrera in the Next Weather sphere. Ivan, you're tracing a few sprinkles in the area?
Yeah, I think a few inland showers, but it's not going to be anything like yesterday. Jim, we're looking pretty good as we check in on the conditions here. The showers will try to get going. I've been monitoring Next Weather radar. Really nothing yet, but our sea breezes are coming together to make that happen. But everything is going to be pushing west, whatever develops, because we have a pretty strong flow coming off the water there. Tracking some weekend storms, we'll talk about that. And in fact, the potential for some heavier rain as we head in through the day on Sunday. Here is the latest as we check in on some cloud cover beginning to develop here. Just a few showers across inland areas, and so that would be the spot there right along the spine of the peninsula where we could have some developing coverage for later on today. There is Next Weather rain tracking. You see most of the activity staying to our west, so I think we'll be in pretty good shape for the rest of today and heading into tonight. As far as temperatures, we are still steaming in the mid-80s. It's felt a little bit warmer because of the humidity. The humidity itself is a little bit lower, but it will be much lower and a lot more comfortable for tonight and into tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a nice day. The breeze will start picking up, but I think with the lower humidity and a slight cool down with the temperatures, we're looking good. There is the frontal boundary. That still has to make it through. It's got no moisture with it, though, so it's just going to be a wind shift and also a humidity drop for us. There you see the numbers. I'm talking about humidity dew points in the 30s and 40s. That's pretty low. It'll moderate as far as by the time it gets down here, but all in all, a less humid setup for tomorrow. Breezy conditions in the afternoon, and we'll have mostly sunny skies. For the weekend, Saturday, we will begin to see a transition into more activity, some showers through the afternoon. Maybe a couple of thunderstorms. I think the thunderstorm activity primarily coming up for Sunday. I'll show you that in a second. A little bit of a dip there for humidity, and then we'll start getting back into more humid conditions for the weekend. As you see on Next Weather storm tracker here, it will be a disturbance in the Gulf. It's not anything you can really see. I'll put this in motion to be able to see as we head through Saturday there. That is beginning to look, as it approaches us, we'll be able to do is make our own thunderstorms in the afternoon, particularly on Sunday. Anytime you see, just the green right over land and not over water, indication of those pop-up thunderstorms. So something we'll be watching through Saturday and particularly on Sunday, with temperatures for tonight in the 60s and 70s, and then for tomorrow slightly cooler, but it'll feel much cooler, not because of a temperature drop, but because the humidity is going to be that much lower. So we're looking pretty good for the next weather 7-day forecast. Temps in the lower 80s through the upcoming weekend, and rain chances going up, particularly Sunday. That will include Monday as well before we dry out for the middle part of next week.
Okay, Ivan, thank you. Meantime, the Trump administration continues to defend the president's national security advisor and other top administration officials for their role in adding a journalist to a group chat and discussing planned military strikes using the Signal app. Today, The Atlantic posted more screenshots of that chat. And now some in Congress say they want an investigation. CBS News Miami's Erica Brown has more details on this from Capitol Hill.
The heads of the Senate Armed Services Committee are asking the White House for an Inspector General investigation into use of the messaging app Signal for a group chat about a highly sensitive military operation.
We are working and exchanging papers right now.
The White House denies any classified information was discussed in the chat that inadvertently included The Atlantic's editor-in-chief. But Wednesday, the magazine published more excerpts showing detailed information about the strikes on Houthi rebels in Yemen, including launch times.
What The Atlantic released today is confounding and extremely disturbing to any American who worries about our national security and our safety.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said nobody was texting war plans.
There's no units, no locations, no routes, no flight paths, no sources, no methods, no classified information.
Two top intelligence officials who were part of the chat were back on Capitol Hill Wednesday, this time facing House lawmakers asking about what was disclosed.
The conversation was candid and sensitive, but as the President National Security Advisor stated, no classified information was shared. There were no sources, methods, locations, or war plans that were shared.
Democrats are pushing back.
I think they intentionally misled Congress into trying to believe that this was some casual conversation. This is a war plan, and American lives are at risk.
Lawmakers are now seeking a classified briefing with White House officials about the leaks. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The federal fraud trial of singer Sean Kingston and his mother continues in Fort Lauderdale. The artist, whose real name is Sean Anderson, and his mother, Janice Turner, are accused of defrauding victims out of high-end cars, jewelry, and other goods. Prosecutors say they bought the items with fraudulent documents. Kingston and Turner each face a series of federal wire fraud charges. They also are accused of state crimes. The pair have pleaded not guilty to all charges. We are working to learn the identity of a man found dead at a construction site in Palmetto Bay. His body was found where a bridge is being built near Southwest 87th Avenue and 164th Street. The sheriff's office says this appears to be an accidental death and not a case of foul play. Friends and family at the scene told us the man worked at the site and was at least 70 years old. Well, Ultra Music Festival begins on Friday. 160,000 people are expected to fill Bayfront Park, and safety is top of mind for Miami police. Barricades are already going up, and the stage is being set. CBS News' Miami's Nakai Carrero is there, and we'll have more about safety and traffic and the economic impact the three-day festival has on South Florida. All that is ahead at 5 o'clock tonight. Florida lawmakers have advanced a bill that would loosen child labor laws to fill jobs vacated by undocumented immigrants. It would allow children as young as 14 to work overnight shifts. Under current law, they cannot work between 11 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. That bill just passed the Senate committee. It must clear 2 more committees before being put to a vote on the House floor. When we come back, a concerning trend on childhood vaccination rates after the COVID-19 pandemic.
I'm next weather meteorologist Casey Sherman. Back to being dry tomorrow when we can expect some much more needed rain. Plus, are chores a good thing for kids? A psychologist explains why parents may want to consider giving their children chores around the house and how it could benefit them in the future. That's tomorrow morning at 6.
And now on the Health Watch, the United States continues to be hit with one of the largest measles outbreaks in the past decade. New research shows a concerning trend about childhood vaccination rates after the COVID-19 pandemic. Here is CBS News Miami's Bradley Blackburn.
More cases of measles in Texas and New Mexico. The largest outbreak in the country remains in Texas, where more than 325 cases have been reported since January. One child has died.
Unfortunately, post-pandemic, rates of childhood vaccination have not bounced back.
The measles is among the highly contagious diseases that can be prevented with the vaccine. Overall, vaccinations among children declined during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, new research in pediatrics shows immunization rates for some illnesses still remain lower than pre-pandemic levels.
What we saw in this study, about 400,000 or so babies, looking at their vaccination rates by age 5 months, those have declined over the course of the pandemic from about 88% coverage down to 81% coverage by 2023. And by 12 months of age, these kids had still not caught up.
The study focused on the rotavirus vaccine, diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis or whooping cough vaccine, and the pneumococcal conjugate vaccine. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder.
We're concerned in particular about certain groups that are lagging behind, including babies of color, people who are low income and on Medicaid, and families that may not speak English as a first language. This is an issue because even tiny dips in vaccination rates can leave communities susceptible to outbreaks.
Dr. Gounder reminds for measles, 95% of the community needs to be immune to prevent an outbreak. Even a 1 or 2% drop can lead to widespread cases. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
In one of the most comprehensive statewide bans of its kind, West Virginia outlaws artificial dyes in food and some medications. The food dyes will not be allowed in school lunches in West Virginia as of August 1st. It comes amid a nationwide push by scientists and government leaders to limit food additives that could be harmful for children. In January, the FDA banned artificial food coloring red number 3. That dye is used in foods like candy, cakes, and frosting. And that is the CBS News Miami Quickcast at 4 p.m. We'll see you again on CBS News Miami beginning at 5 o'clock.